Hello and welcome to the United Stand. I'm here with the wonderful Sophie Rose from CFC Fan TV. Thanks for joining us.
No worries, darling, anytime. I'm happy to be here.
Of course, and obviously we will be discussing all things FA Cup final.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's a massive game.
Huge game.
Huge.
Huge game, it
Talk to
always
me.
is. You know, the FA Cup, I'm not as motivated as everybody else is. I mean, Rory, the guy that I work on my channel with, is a FA Cup fanatic. Like, he absolutely loves it. And it is a serious competition. But for me, you know, when you've had such a bad season, we finished fifth, but to us, that's a bad season. Like it is for any
Yeah,
clubs,
exactly.
I think. You know, it sort of just takes the thrill out of the whole season itself. So it's quite hard to get motivated. And I think if any of you seen our 3-0 defeat at Newcastle over the weekend,
They're just down tools, isn't it?
you'll see why we are not exactly ecstatic to play next week. But I am really looking forward to it. I do think it's going to be a really good game. But I'll be honest, I don't think Chelsea are going to win it. I don't see how we're going to compete with a very good United side. But, you know, it's very hard to tell this season because we've been so inconsistent.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm trying to not be, but, you know, if we're going on the positives of Chelsea, you will see the likes of, you know, we're not going to see a good performance from them against Newcastle because they have nothing to play for, so they've obviously just given up. But I do think you'll see the likes of Eden Hazard, Giroud, you know, everyone will be on their A game, Kante, Aspilicueta. So we will see those sorts of players come out and shine. But I just don't see. I try to look at things as a team, as a whole, and I think that you have got a much better layout at the moment, and you have a very strong manager who will have, you know, a plan A, a plan B, a
Yeah,
plan
exactly.
C.
That experience is obviously going to go far,
And I
especially in
don't
the big
know,
games.
yeah, and I don't know now that Conte's heart's not really in it if he has a plan B. So if I'm being honest, I'm a little bit worried about
Who's
it.
it more important to in terms of, I mean, for us, we finished second, right? And our fan base is a little bit divided at the moment in terms of, we've made progress, we've gone from 6th to 2nd, it's a big jump, fantastic, we
Yeah.
may get an FA Cup, but then our brand of football has been dire at times for large chunks of the season. Is it important for Conte to win this, bearing in mind he may not even be there next season? Is it important for Chelsea to win this, or is it like you've had a poor season so that can't even gloss it up?
No, we have like a really good run in the FA Cup. We've won 7 FA Cups. We're highly experienced in this competition, and it's a great day. Any day out at Wembley, you have to be thankful for. It means that you're competing. It means that you're one of the best. You've got yourself to a final. But in terms of who's more important to, I think Mourinho 100% wants to add trophies to his cabinet.
That's all he's
you know.
about, isn't it? He doesn't
Yeah,
care
he
about the
is.
brand of football as long as he's ticking off his list of
Yeah,
trophy,
exactly.
trophy.
And that's good for any team. And everyone knows I love Mourinho, even though he is at Man United.
Would you have him back?
Yeah, probably. Nobody will like
Take
saying
him,
that.
take him.
Yeah. No, I think he's a fantastic manager, and I think he wants to win trophies. So I think the Conte will want to beat Mourinho. I think he'll want to win. I think he'll also want to win a trophy. But you can see in the way he is compared to last season, you know, he was running into the crowd, he's jumping up and down the touchline.
Passion is just that he's been moaning all season, like about the targets he didn't get and lack of investment in the side. Is that warranted?
But you can understand it though, because I mean, even for Mourinho, like if Mourinho, you know, when Mourinho comes to Man United or whatever, he's going to want big signings, and I think Man United have delivered to a certain extent.
to a
although
certain
I'm
extent.
sure there will be more that
Yeah,
he wants
of
and
course.
how he can improve each season. But I think, if I'm being honest, I think you just have, like I say, you have a better structure at the moment. Chelsea, we don't have any structure at all. You know, it's the whole thing's fallen apart. We have fantastic players that don't know how to sort of play together at the moment. That's the only way I can really describe it. We need a few little enhancements here and there. We've made, you know, average signings that, you know, they're okay, but they're not going to work in the Premier League in this day and age. So, you know, the likes of, I mean, I don't want to say Giroud actually, but maybe Bakayoko, Emerson. You know, these players.
They're not like the Chelsea level you required.
We signed Barkley, we signed Drinkwater. They would all be good, I think, for, you know, team 8th down. Yeah, between team
But
8
Chelsea
and team 20.
quality.
Yeah, but for Chelsea, you know, it would have worked for years ago, but it's not going to work anymore. So that's why I'm a little bit worried, and that's why, you know, I'm going to be try and be unbiased and just say that, like, I mean, I'm sure if it was the other way around, like, you'd be thinking, God, we've not finished the top 4, we've just lost 3-0. You know, can we beat a very well rounded side that just
To be
finished
honest with you,
second?
Soph, I mean, I think from opposing fans who obviously don't watch Man United week in, week out, the general consensus could be obviously they're second. If they've got Alexis Sanchez, they might Pogba, which is what it should be like. But from our point of view, we haven't been in great form ourselves, and I think, to be honest, the fact that it is Wembley, and like you said, Mourinho will have a plan A, B, C. That's probably why we're probably probably vocally confident, but it isn't a foregone conclusion. I think, because Chelsea can turn up.
No,
and that's not me
true.
just trying to, because these lot will say, Flex, you always don't back United, you're being negative. That's just me being honest in the space that we're in right now.
I think Chelsea and United, United have never really got back to the, Alex Ferguson sort of winning team.
Tell me about it.
And I think Chelsea have not had any stability for a few years, like proper stability. And I mean, because, we seem to win a league and then
it goes to pot, and then you go back again and go to pot.
Yeah, and that's not really any good. You want to be winning the league, but if you're not going to win the league, you want to at least make top three. I think forget top four. I think you want to make top three. So I don't think United or Chelsea have. If you look at the gap between us and City, if you look at the gap between Man United and Man City, it's huge.
17 points.
It's a huge amount in difference. But like I say, I don't think either team are the best,
exactly.
the best they could be.
It's a weird one, yeah.
But I just feel like you've got a better layout at the moment. So I would be shocked if you didn't. I mean,
because we've had a better season.
We're 100,000% going to concede a goal if we turn out.
100.
Yeah, 100,000. Yeah. But what I will say is, I think, like I said, I think Eden Hazard will turn up. I think all our best players will, show what they're made of course. But I do think Conte, in order to win this game, has to have a plan B. He the last time I can remember him having a really good plan B was against Tottenham in the semi-final when I was in Dubai. I watched it on TV. It was it was an absolute masterclass. It's so good. But he needs to have a plan B, and he needs to make sure that he's sort of figured out, your weaknesses and how we can work around that. Because otherwise, I don't see how we are gonna. Because
they have exactly, and you talk about that.
We haven't seen our team this bad in quite a while.
Exactly, so it's a bit of a not new thing for you guys, but I think at this low is quite an all-time low. You kind of Europa League gone out with a whimper, like the season just fizzled out. Was it like November time? Kind of you just went on a run of just no.
Do you know what? I've just not enjoyed the Premier League this season. I think the Premier League sort of fizzled. I think it ended really in December
because City ran away with it.
City ran away with it, so there was no fun for anyone. Really, you want to have at least that little element of it could happen.
Yeah,
and really it was like one. It was
gone,
and
we were the closest to them, and we just messed it up. Like we played them in December and had the chance to cut that gap down to 5, and we lost and went to 11, and the rest.
And then
that's
it. Yeah, exactly. So I don't think, like I said, you can never predict in these sorts of competitions what's going to happen. It is an FA Cup final. It is a day out at Wembley. Teams will perform in different, they may just come out and shock you. You never know, and it is English football. But I do think if we've got any chance, it's going to go into extra time. It's going to go into penalties. I predict.
Some people are predicting like a bore fest, because we haven't been free flowing.
Extra time penalties. It could just all go to pot. But this is a tough one. I have to say, I don't like to make predictions this season because I just think it is a little bit unpredictable. I mean, I'm sure you've had your fair share of shock results this season.
God, don't. Yeah,
we have as well. But with Chelsea, I think we've had that run of games where we're playing such good football that we could probably beat anyone. Where we have a team of players that could beat anybody. But if they're not managed properly, if they're not really motivated, that's one good thing about Mourinho is that if you don't play well, see you later.
Yeah, well, that's on that. I mean, with us, we've got Martial who's been in the side, and he signed Alexis Sanchez, and it's kind of like see you later, Alexis. And the same with Luke Shaw. Yeah. And you're right. If it is Mourinho's way or no way, that is just how he is, isn't he? Even as a Chelsea fan, you'd know that best.
Exactly. So I think until Chelsea get that another manager that really, really cares and really wants to be at Chelsea
and actually wants to build something long term.
Yeah, and it has to be a manager.
Can that happen at Chelsea with Abramovich's model, which is like he's kind of cutthroat, isn't he? Like it's not going well. See you later. Get someone else spending money again. Yeah, Can that happen like a sustained period of like?
The only problem at the moment is that we're going through so many managers. There's not going to be any left.
Yeah.
So United. I have to say you were quite lucky in the fact that you got Mourinho, because I think Mourinho was probably the last. As of the moment, the last person you could have turned to that actually could manage a big club like Man United. He has, he can handle the pressure. He's been in Premier League football before. He knows how English football works. He's a very experienced manager, and that's why you've actually finished second. And I do predict that you will win titles with him as your manager.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Until Chelsea, for instance, is sort of comes to terms with the fact that we're not going to win the Premier League every single season.
Yeah, of course.
It's just not going to happen.
There's no divine right, is there?
I couldn't tell you who our next manager is going to be.
On the game, what are we expecting from Chelsea lineup wise? What tactics do you hope Conte puts out? What are you expecting from a team selection point of view and the game?
I mean, I'm a massive fan of Pedro. So
he hasn't been getting that much game time recently, has he?
No, he hasn't. But I think if you look at when he came on against who did we play in the to reach the final?
Southampton. Yeah.
So I went blank there. We played Southampton and he brought on Pedro towards the end.
Yeah.
And Pedro is our fastest player. So when Southampton were getting a bit tired, he brought him on and then, it was sort of job done, So I tend to look at not only the person that scores goals, but who's fast on the pitch, who can make a bit of an impact coming on. So I wouldn't start with Pedro, but I would like to see him feature in the second half. I would go with Hazard and Giroud. Up front, they are our biggest form. I would leave Morata on the bench, please God. Please.
On him, I mean, in the summer it looked like it was going to be the other way around with Lukaku and Morata. Thank God, obviously for us, we've seen how Morata is.
Listen, when Morata started, he was great. I had him tipped to be one of the top goal scorers of the season. I was like,
how wrong.
Then he got his injury and he never really recovered from it. And I think. I hate all this comparing him to Diego Costa. Every footballer every striker
He's completely
has
different to him, isn't he? Yeah.
Every striker has a different style of play, and that's absolutely fine. You don't have to be punching everyone in the face to, to make an impact. But you do need to make sure that you're not falling on the floor every couple of seconds. This is the Premier League, especially at United when we played you at Old Trafford. When you go down, you're not going to get a free kick.
Yeah.
You're more likely to get a yellow.
He just moans about it all the time.
So you have to get up. That's just all it is. And fans were going a bit crazy about it. So I wouldn't like to see him feature. At the back, like I said, Dave has to be featured. Azpilicueta, sorry for those that you don't know.
Dave?
Call him Dave. Yeah, do you not know that?
No, why?
We couldn't. So Azpilicueta came. We couldn't really pronounce his name properly.
So he's just saying Dave.
So we could just call him Dave. So
we call Chris Smalling Mike Smalling. So
I do. Yeah. So. Yeah, so he's just called Dave. Everyone knows him as Dave.
I thought you meant as in David Luiz, who hasn't even been featured.
No, everyone knows him as Dave. So Azpilicueta, Christensen, I would like to see. And then Rudiger's been great as well.
Yeah, he's been quite good this season.
Yeah, I like I said, I can't really predict it. Whatever Conte wants to, whoever he wants to choose, he's not got the team right recently. And I think he doesn't really know what to do. He doesn't really know, we can't really bring on the likes of Barkley and Drinkwater because they haven't featured at all. Bringing them on in a final is a little bit of I'd be a bit of a stressful if that was me. But like I say, I don't know who he's going to put out. I would just like to think it's some of our strongest players, some of the players that have played well together this season. And I think actually Bakayoko up until Newcastle.
What do you make of him since he's come there? Because that was a replacement for Matic, who obviously controversially came to us. A lot of your fans were angry about that. Was you angry with that, or do you think...
Bakayoko again was good at the start of the season, but the problem is that Bakayoko has been brought into a team where Conte didn't get the reinforcements he wanted. So therefore, Bakayoko sort of come into a team where he's never going to be the one to shine when everyone else who's meant to be on form is not on form. So if he'd have come into a team like last season and made a couple of appearances here and there, we may have seen him sort of settle in a little bit more. But to come into a team that's already falling apart, I think is...
Do you think he'll come good?
I think Bakayoko will come good, yeah. I don't think Morata will come good.
Yeah, I mean, when we was at the Channel 4 filming last week, I remember you saying, obviously, you don't think he should stay another season because
that's what I mean.
Do you stand by that? You think he's just not right for you guys?
There's just some players that you can see that are going to perform well and some players that aren't. And unfortunately, Morata, it's more his play. He hasn't, if I was a player, I think, right, I need to work on my one-on-ones. He hasn't done that. It happens most games when you see him.
He misses a lot of chances, doesn't he? Yeah.
They're chances that other strikers would easily put away. And he falls on the floor every couple of seconds. And that's really not what the Premier League's about. You do get the odd dives from every team, of course, inside the box, but you can't just fall down every time.
He does do that a lot. I kind of think with Morata, if it's not with his head, because he's quite good. And Azpilicueta's set him up, got quite a few assists, hasn't he, in terms of supplying Morata for headers, etc. But if it's not with his head, he just seems like he's not that good a finisher.
But if that was me, I'd be practicing it. Yeah. I don't really think he's in the training ground after everyone's left practicing his one-on-ones.
He's off, mate. He's clocking off.
The Premier League's really tough. You've got to be able to handle it. If you can't handle it, you've got to be like the Mourinho on the pitch.
Yeah.
Basically.
I've got to ask you this. Is there a chance Conte can stay? Can you see him staying?
Not unless there was some sort of major recruitment reform at Chelsea, because I don't know why managers are so shocked, to be honest. We've always been the same. Our board has always been the same. We will always have they'll always have a say in who we sign. And as a manager, you will not get every player that you want to sign. We don't act quick enough, and the board don't always agree with who the manager wants. And like I say, we change managers. Our board are all about, you know, them bringing in players and the manager sort of managing them and trying to do his best with them. So I don't think Conte will stay another season. I think how it's been the last couple of months, especially, I don't think the fans are even that bothered anymore. So yeah, everything has its shelf life, and I think unfortunately it's ended quite soon with Conte, which we didn't expect. But yeah,
one thing I have enjoyed with him is his war with Jose. That's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, well,
the little man, and for me, I absolutely loved it. I think that's what Premier League's about, and that was like a bit of the old Jose. You know, when he first come to you guys the first time round, arrogance and that going after people. I loved it.
Yeah, well, you have to be a bit like that in the Premier League. It's all about having a little bit of, I don't know, character.
Yeah,
is that the word?
100%.
So I don't think Conte's going to be here next season. I think there's the slimmest chance, unless, like I say, there is some major retalk and the board are really that keen on him staying. But you know,
Would the FA Cup change it? So say you do us over and you win. Would that change?
No, I don't think it will. I don't think it will. To be honest, I think it'll be a nice little send off and a nice trophy for him. But I don't think it will make a difference.
Okay, right. The all important time predictions and scorers. I'm gonna go for it. What do you think the score's going to be, and who do you think's going to score?
I really don't know.
You don't think you're going to be?
Okay. Listen, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna predict it on a team. How well I know Chelsea can play if they put their minds to it.
Yeah.
I'll go Chelsea to win in extra time. So I'll choose 2-1. I think 1-1 draw, and then I think Chelsea will get the second goal.
Scorers?
Maybe Hazard.
Yeah.
Hazard and Giroud, I would have to say, yeah.
They've been two informed. Well, are they been informed players?
Yeah, Hazard and Giroud recently, yeah. So I'll go with those two. What about you?
I'm going to go 2-1 again as well. I don't think it'll go to extra time. I think 2-1 within normal time, and I think our scorers will be Lukaku if he's fit. If not, Lukaku if he's fit, and then Sanchez, I think, because I just think at Wembley, Sanchez has come to his own. He hasn't been great for us, if I'm honest. But we saw him against Spurs at Wembley. He turned it on that day. Yeah. He turned it on in the second half against City, and I think he's going to turn it on against Chelsea. I've just got that feeling. So 2-1, and I'm going to go for Lukaku Sanchez. There you have it. They're the predictions. I want to know what you guys think. Drop your views and your comments in the boxes below. Sophie, thanks for joining us.
No problem, anytime.
Thank you. She's taken time out of her busy schedule to come join us.
Well, no, that's fine. So have you, darling.
Yes, exactly. Let's wait to see what happens. Bring on the FA Cup final.